now move on to the Tour de France. I'm sure this will feature increasingly on our agendas here, and increasingly in the life of the council, and increasingly in the life of the communities. And please don't mention road closures and Tour de France in the same breath in the upper Dales, will you? Please, who's going to speak to this? Tony Clark draws a short straw.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I'm sure members will remember in April of this year we considered a report on the Tour de France, and there was a full backing for participation and in the delivery of the Tour de France for the stage 1, which goes through Richmondshire, and in future legacy work. At that time, Chairman, there's a couple of loose ends that we sort of put to one side pending what was yet a fairly recent announcement by the government to allocate £10 million towards the tour. Those two loose ends related to support for Welcome to Yorkshire, who were looking for a management fee at that point of £20,000 to assist them in their work on the tour, and a £5,000 request from the City of York towards a programme manager who was doing some legacy cycling work in terms of the title is Get Yorkshire Cycling. That's the legacy that they're trying to promote through a strategy. So we put that to one side pending the work which is evolving in terms of this £10 million grant. At this point in time, Chairman, there is still some uncertainty about the £10 million, but there is some clarity in terms of how much is actually going to be made available for legacy work, and particularly for the work of Welcome to Yorkshire, and that's quite clearly going to be zero. The allocation, as you've probably picked up from the media, was £10 million. £2 million of that £10 million has been set aside for contingency work. The government, as I set out in the report, have also set up a new governance structure.
Could you just, I think one or two people might be confused. The report's been printed in the wrong order within the papers, so we're actually talking to 9A, aren't we?
We are, Chairman.
Yes, 9A. I just thought one or two looked mystified, including the chairman. Carry on.
Okay. So this £10 million which has been promoted in the media has got down from £8 million with the contingency set aside £2 million. The government set up this new governance structure, and they've set up a management team to operate this new company called Tour de France 2014. That's going to take some of the £10 million allocation. So, to cut a long story short, when you get down to what will be allocated to the authorities who are going to be organising the event across three stages in the country, there will not be a lot of the £10 million left. We're anticipating for Richmondshire to take a share of what's likely to be about £120,000, which is going to be split between Richmondshire Craven and the Park Authority. So that's the sort of level that we're thinking about in terms of Richmondshire. Obviously other authorities like North Yorkshire, who will have significant costs, as will Harrogate, will have significantly more, but not in terms of the actual costs of organising the work that they have to do. So, long story short, Chairman, the two loose ends that we started with are still there. I'm recommending in this report that we do support Welcome to Yorkshire. I think that they have got themselves into a difficult situation, I think, in terms of having to incur extra costs. They've done a fantastic job in getting the tour into Yorkshire, and clearly they do need some support to be able to fulfil some of their organisational obligations. On the advice of the Chief Executive of the Leeds City Council, I'm suggesting that we, at this stage, allocate half of what they're asking for, £10,000, and not the £20,000 that we've been invoiced for. Similarly, Chairman, there's some support material in the appendix about the legacy work. There's a briefing note there, and this has been discussed at the Chief Exec level amongst all the districts in North Yorkshire. The general feeling is that we think that this event should be supported, this work should be supported, but not to the level of the £5,000 being requested by York, because this is a payment which has been asked for all authorities across the region, irrespective of size. We think Richmondshire should be paying less than the £5,000 that they're asking for, and suggesting that we pay £2,500 towards that contribution. So those are the two loose ends which I'm asking to make decisions on this evening, Chairman. Finally, there's a general update within the report on how we're progressing with the organisation. As you've alluded to, there is an awful lot of work to be done still. Officers at the Council are supporting various delivery meetings. We've got Colin was at a meeting today in York, and he's attending one on Thursday. But there's a lot more work to be done. One of the strands, which again you may have read about in the media, is the work of this 100 Days Arts Festival leading up to the again, some briefing notes within the paper which sets out how we think it might impact in Richmondshire. In simple terms, we don't think there will be a massive impact by that 100 days of activities. We anticipate not any permanent features left in terms of commissions, but we do believe there might be some touring events which might come into Richmondshire as a result of the commissions which are being organised regionally. So, Chairman, that's really it for the moment. I think we'll be coming back to you with further updates as we progress closer to the date, but you can be assured that the officers are trying to make sure that the event is successful as it comes through Richmondshire. Happy to answer any questions, Chairman.
Thank you. I'll ask you a question in terms of the demand for £20,000 from Welcome to Yorkshire, which we're going to send £10,000. This is separate to the amount that they requested for their annual subscription, so we make that quite clear. The other districts in North Yorkshire, what have they done? Have they paid, or say they've paid up, or are paying? Can you help?
Yes, Chairman. I think, as I've set out in the report, I think we're the only authority that hasn't paid anything so far. Some in North Yorkshire have paid the full amount that's been requested, and some has followed the line put forward by the Chief Executive Lead, i.e. 50% of the contribution. So I think there's a mixture across the patch, but so we're the only authority that hasn't paid anything so far.
Thank you. The figures on stage 1 are not accounts like an Excel account sheet. They are actually real live people, and they are talking about 316,101 people. The total demand, that is what they're saying, that in Richmondshire on July the 5th, 2014, in addition, well, perhaps including the local community, there will be over 300,000 people. Can you visualise that? Because I can't. I really can't. We are told that our part within Richmondshire is going to be focused on running the star parts of the tour. One, because it's the first day, and everybody likes to watch the first day and possibly the last day as well, although the last day is usually of academic interest. The first day gets everybody's interest up. Two, because we've got such wonderful scenery in Richmondshire, they are expecting a tremendous amount of interest, actually, of people coming along and watching the tour itself on the ground. And I really don't know how we're going to accommodate 316,101 people. I think one of the issues will be how you get them in and how you get them out. And for a while, having an inclination that the Upper Dales and beyond in Leyburn, Midland, are going to be absolute no-go areas on that day. Don't please fall unwell on that particular day. I don't know how we're going to cope with, for example, the toiletry requirements. 316,101 people creates a huge demand for temporary toilets. I really don't know how we're going to do it. If it's raining, it may not be so bad, but if it's dry, then obviously they could. Well, yeah, you just have to work it out for yourself. And just be washed down the river.
Yeah, okay.
Anyhow.
The chairman of the strategy board is now committed, telling everybody to break the law on film.
Oh, golly. That wasn't be honest. But quite seriously, these are the sort of issues that we're going to have to deal with. Perhaps these are some of the issues that, whilst I recognise that Welcome to Yorkshire did do an incredible selling job in getting the tour to come, against the odds, against the government's advice, who wanted it to go to Scotland, they perhaps did not do the necessary thinking in